Good morning, you fellow Diablo 3 heavy metal horror fiends. Now, we have some changes to patch 2.6.9. Obviously, PTR is still going, and the main one I'm going to talk about and focus on are the Demon Hunter changes. Much needed changes. Necromancer needs some changes as well. The new sets I'm talking about, obviously, but Demon Hunter needed changes big time. I think out of the two, Demon Hunter was worse off and needed the more critical changes first. Now, the seasonal theme. We've received a lot of feedback regarding the seasonal theme being difficult to track and that it sometimes didn't feel like it was appearing or doing much to gameplay. We are adjusting the following. Elemental power will now occur every 90 seconds rather than 120 seconds. They've added a buff to this effect to help track it better. Fireballs now start at the caster. Meteors will now track players and not stay at the initial location. Damage has been slightly buffed for multiplayer. We've also just found out about the season effects proccing area damage. This will eventually be fixed, but did not make it into the PTR build. So I wasn't much of a fan with this season's theme to begin with, so that doesn't mean much to me. But going down into the Demon Hunter changes. Alright, they've made some big changes here, so let's get into it. We've adjusted the two-piece bonus to address momentum and damage feedback from players. Momentum will now be a singular buff that affects all primary skills. You will now be able to use multiple generators without losing the momentum bonus when alternating between them. The two-piece bonus will now also give 4 seconds per primary attack. Awesome. Up to a maximum of 20 seconds. So it was 10 seconds max, now it's 20 seconds. So nice buff there. And instead of 2 seconds per primary attack, it's 4. Momentum will also now be applied immediately when using a primary skill instead of when it hits a target. That's a much needed change too. These changes should help with damage output and allow for an easier time when building and maintaining momentum. So this tells me we can strafe the entire time and not worry about losing stacks or stopping and getting stacks back up. So it's going to change the play style of this. It's just basically a whirlwind Demon Hunter, and we're going to be using primary attacks as well. So we gain 4 seconds now of momentum when attacking instead of 2. That's pretty good. And a maximum of 20 seconds up from 10 seconds. Your primary skills deal 10% increased damage per second of momentum. So we get overall more damage because it's going to be an extra additional. Basically, the seconds are doubled, so from 10 to 20. So obviously, damage is doubled as well as far as percentage goes. We've fixed a few issues on the 4-piece bonus. Players will now be able to proc bonuses and other powers such as Simplicity's Strength Healing bonus from their primary skills coming from Strafe. Awesome. So instead of stopping strafe and then using your primary skill and that way proccing your Simplicity's Strength, now when we're using our primary skill while we're still strafing, it's all going to proc, which is how it should have been working anyway. So great that they picked up that it wasn't working there. It should definitely add to our damage as well as survivability. You will now also be able to strafe forever while shooting primary abilities, as you will no longer need momentum for strafe to fire off the last used primary skill. Lastly, we fixed an issue where Hungering Arrow was not piercing correctly when used with strafe. So players will now be able to use this with the 4-piece bonus reliably. Nice. And now while strafing, we gain 8% increased movement speed for each second of momentum. So it wasn't just some sort of some stock standard speed, whatever it was. It was just basically it went from move faster per stack of momentum to 8%. So we don't know exactly what percentage it was before originally. At least now we know that it's 8%, and I'm sure that it's actually higher. 6-piece bonus stays the same. Your primary skills deal 10,000% more damage. So this is going to be interesting. I just wanted to cover off these patch notes, or the updated patch notes and the changes. I will be back real soon with some gameplay. I'm going to go into the PTR right now, log on in there, and I'm going to do some testing on my Demon Hunter, and I'll be back in a couple hours or so, if not sooner. Depends, how long it all takes. I'm not going to just pump content out unless I'm very happy with it. So it sounds like the changes are pretty self-explanatory. It's just going to affect our playstyle. Maybe a couple item changes. From what sticks out to me at the moment is we can definitely use Taeguk gem. It sounds like it's going to be a lot more viable because we're going to keep on strafing. We don't have to stop strafe, so we can definitely keep the stacks of Taeguk up. So I'll be experimenting with Taeguk, but just give me a little bit of time. I definitely will be back. Exciting times for the Demon Hunter class. Let's see what changes they bring to the Necro, because without doubt the Masquerade of the Carnival definitely needs some changes as well. So let's just scroll on down. Yeah, so nothing's been changed yet. These are just the original ones, except that full stop there. That's in red, so that tells me that they must be looking at some sort of changes. No, but this is all the usual stuff. So as you can see, the 2, 4, 6 set bonus there of the new set, Masquerade of the Burning Carnival, no changes, and just the old changes of the items there. So tune back in for the Necro changes. I'm sure that they're coming in the coming days. But first and foremost, let's check out the Demon Hunter in the next video.